man, to be honest, 3 out of 10. I was only anticipating 2 shows the second half of the 2017 to 2018 TV season. I have gotten to the point where I don't really anticipate much anymore. I mean, I still have things that I like look forward to seeing, especially movies. I mean, I'm already going to be seeing all the shows that come out and all the movies that come out. But there's some that I'm obviously more interested in than others. Like I'm partial to comedies. I really like comedies, so that's something that kind of stands out. And then like, just whatever. There's things that I still look forward to, but I don't put any expectations on them. I don't anticipate them in any way, shape, or form. The first half, starting from fall, because summer doesn't really have very many options, and I don't expect to like anything from summer. Starting from fall for this season, which, by the way, the TV season 2017 to 2018 is June 1st, 2017 to May 31st, 2018. Anyways, from like September of last year, for that first half, like before till the end of the year, that first half, the only 2 shows I was anticipating, which it was 2 again, were The Orville and Ghosted. And we know how The Orville turned out. I mean, I'm forcing myself to watch it because it's Seth MacFarlane, and I really like Halston Sage. If you've seen any of my previous videos, any of my previous reviews of a movie that she's been in, you know that I really like her. She's just in a lot of my favorite stuff. And then Ghosted, it's not awful, but it didn't live up. So, going into this second half, I was surprised that I still had 2. One of them hasn't premiered yet, the Deadpool animated series. I'm totally not expecting to like it at all because it's not going to be like the movies. I think I'll still like it, but like not like it as much as... Because like the first Deadpool, I gave like a 10 out of 10. It was my favorite movie of the year, and it's like my 5th or 4th or 3rd favorite movie of all time. I don't know, it's in my top 5 or 10. But I'm anticipating that FX animated series. But again, I don't think I'm going to like... But after this, I don't think I'm going to put any TV shows on my anticipated anymore. I mean, TV shows just don't pan out for me. Some of the ones that... And the ones that I end up liking are the ones that I, like, don't expect to. So I'm done anticipating shows. And this is the reason why. This was really bad. I mean, I guess it's not awful. But when you go in expecting something halfway decent and you get what you got, it's ridiculous. This... does not... So it's about... I know that it's about an unsolved case, and I was expecting a little bit of a procedural kind of format, but, like... It just barely showed Tupac or the Notorious B.I.G. I prefer Biggie, though. It's a lot easier to say. It's just less words and syllables. They're barely shown in there, and when they are in there, it feels forced. It feels like they're just trying to make a procedural... that is about something that's going to draw more people in and is on a network that might convince some people that it could be good. I mean, USA isn't really that good of a channel. I mean, I really liked Psych, and then coincidentally, the following year, Mr. Robot premiered. But like that's about it. I mean, like there's a couple other halfway decent shows, but they're not making like perfect television or anything aside from Mr. Robot. I mean, Psych I really do like, but I don't think it's like up on that level. It's just enjoyable. Quality content TV, but with Mr. Robot, now people think that they have the chance to do it, and when it's something this interesting that we don't know anything about, and these artists are so well regarded, especially Tupac, and with the interest peaking in the last few years, when there was the guy who was in this, should have been in the movie, though, in Straight Outta Compton, and then that movie being good. And then last year there was All Eyes on Me. That didn't do well, and it didn't get good reviews, and I was angry that it wasn't Mark Rose playing Tupac. It just, it was like the perfect time, and then like all these unsolved case like things, or like exploring things that we don't know the answer, like the American Crime Story, OJ, People versus OJ Simpson. That, I mean, we don't really know what happened with that for sure, and I didn't finish it, so I don't know if they made up one, but I'm pretty sure that we just are never going to know. So this, I mean, it's just, this had everything going for it, and then it had a great cast. Mark Rose is great as Tupac. The guy that played Biggie was pretty good, but there were a lot of times where he just kind of seemed like I guess I don't really know him. I just was surprised. I don't know. He seemed a lot more normal than I expected. But I guess I hadn't really seen Biggie in a lot of stuff. But when I saw him, I was like, really? And I was like, I don't know. He just seemed kind of normal. The guy, Josh Duhamel, really good. I really like him. He's in several things that I really enjoy, and I just think he's a really good actor. Except I'm really angry about that nacho fries thing. I get it's supposed to be funny, but I just am sad that it was him. Like, I really think that he'll up the quality of anything he's in. And then Jimmy Simpson. Really, 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 really love Jimmy Simpson. He's in a lot of my favorite stuff. I just think he's really good. He can be a really good actor, but then like a dramatic actor, but then he can also be really funny. I mean, he's in particular, I think he's really funny in Sunny. But then I think he is really good, serious, like in. I liked him in Westworld. I haven't seen a lot of that though, because I don't really like it that much. But I can't think of any other examples. I mean, like there's a couple other things I know him from that aren't like that well received, but like I can't think of a good example for dramatic. But I think he has a lot of range. And he's really funny in Psych, but then also kind of dramatic in Psych. That's a really good one. I really like Psych. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. But yeah, this had everything going for it, and it failed miserably. I was bored. Like, at first, it was one of those situations. Sometimes, if I'm anticipating something enough, I try to force myself to get into it so that hopefully after the slow beginning, it gets good and then I stay interested. That oftentimes doesn't happen. So what happens is I force myself to get into it, and I get way more excited for something that's not that good, and then it doesn't get better and drops in quality most of the time, and then it sucks even more for me. So I was forcing myself to get into it in the beginning. So that was okay. I was hoping there'd be potential, but I was like, why is this an hour and 3 minutes? Which meant that it was probably like 50 minutes, which I hate when they're not like 45-minute shows. 22 and 45. I like the network times. I think anything over that most of the time feels forced and stretched. There's a few exceptions, very notable ones, but usually not. So I was worried. I was like, oh God. And then I thought it was a 6-episode season. It's a 10-episode season. I was like, oh no, they gotta draw all this stuff out that far? Like, I was really excited for a solid 6-episode miniseries. I can't remember if it's a miniseries or if it's an anthology series, but just, this part of the show would be wrapped up in 6 episodes. I was really excited for that, and just, it all failed. It's a regular old procedural to the worst quality, and then barely using its antagonists. Not really. I don't know. It's just like, they're in the title and it's about the case, and I don't know. It was very messy too, and like so many times all at once, and it just, I don't know. I really don't know what went wrong with this. I don't know how this couldn't have been at least like a 4 or a 5. Or a 6. I would have been okay with a 6, and I would have watched a 6, but to be honest, I'm not going to finish the season. It's just, I can't. I barely finished the episode. Like, I forced myself to just because it was one of 2 shows I was anticipating. So, I even saw, like, a teaser, and I think I did a reaction for it on the other channel. I was on board enough after that, even, and this just was, it was awful. So, now I'm even less confident in having any slight liking of the Deadpool show. I mean, I probably won't hate it. It just will be a decent, like, animated show, but it won't be like the movie if it were a show. So, but the Glover Brothers gives me a little bit of something in anticipation, but that's about it. So yeah, 3 out of 10. Said that at the beginning, and it was in the description, so you didn't have to watch the video. But and you probably didn't want to, because this one's pretty long and it's not that great. And I think the first few minutes I was talking about something else because I was so angry and I didn't want to talk about this. That's a lot of the time. Like, sometimes it's filler, but sometimes I just don't want to talk about it. And so, like, I don't know. But anyways, I'm just going to end it right here. Thanks for watching, guys. Press that like button if you liked the video. Press that subscribe button if you liked me. Comment below. Have you seen this? If you have, what you think about it? Are you going to watch the rest of the season, even if you didn't like it? I don't know. I almost want to, just because it was, like, one of 2 that I was anticipating, but I just can't. It just was so boring, and I feel like it's going to continue to be long episodes. So, yeah, I can't. Okay, that's officially it. Once again, thanks for watching. I think that's all the ones that I need to do, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.